Sri Vikas Gurung sir to felicitate Sri Subhadipta Gupta with a bouquet of flowers. So without taking up more time, I would like to request Sri Subhadipta Gupta sir to start the session.
Audible at the back পেছনে শোনা যাচ্ছে আমার কথা? Is it okay, the sound? I think the light will be required. Isn't it so? আপনারা প্রত্যেকে যোগ সম্বন্ধে কিছু না কিছু তো জানেন। বাড়িতে কেউ না কেউ যোগ করেছে বা আপনারাও হয়তো করে থাকেন। So this entire session, as I have been informed, is for 1 hour. So we will take some questions at the end of the session. And we also expect some more guests to fill in the chairs. Yes, so we all be seated. So for 1 minute we will close our eyes before we start the session and relax the body completely. So kindly close your eyes for some time and just observe your breath. One deep long inhalation, and as you exhale slowly, feel that you are throwing out all your stress and tension outside with your exhalation. মনে করুন যেন আপনি নিজের প্রশ্বাসের সাথে সাথে সমস্ত স্ট্রেস টেনশনকে বাইরে ছেড়ে দিচ্ছেন। And relax your back completely, relax your spinal cord, relax your shoulders, relax your whole body. Keep your eyes closed for a few more seconds. Sahana bhavatu sahano bhunaktu saha viryam karvavahai tejasvina avadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So very slowly we will open our eyes. So it is a great honor for me to speak in front of such an august audience at Reserve Bank of India. I thank all the organizers of this event who have invited me to speak to you today. As I have already mentioned that it will be a dialogue between us, as yoga is nothing which we are importing from outside, but yoga is your tradition, your culture, your roots. But it is paradoxical that standing in 2026, in the times of artificial intelligence, we are discussing a subject which is more than 5,000 years old. So I assume that you have some idea about the topic on which we are going to discuss today. It is the importance of yoga on stress and lifestyle diseases. So in modern time, contemporary time, we are seeing an unfathomable progress in science and technology. But you all will agree with me that life has become much more difficult despite such innovations and advancements. Do you agree with me that how many of us face stress, anxiety, depression in everyday life nowadays? Nearly 90% or more than that. Some of our family members are suffering from lifestyle diseases. How many of us? We can raise our hands. I have my family members who are suffering from lifestyle diseases. Many of us. প্রত্যেকেই হাত মানে ভেবে তুলতে পারেন যদি বাড়ির লোকজন এরকম কারো থাকে যাদের কোনো না কোনো লাইফস্টাইল ডিজিজ আছে। Yes, we all have someone or the other who is suffering from lifestyle disease. So the focus of this talk will be on the importance of yoga on stress and lifestyle disease. Why this topic? See, 50 years back, in last 50 years, the diseases 50 years back which was the cause of concern were more contagious in nature, like infectious diseases, virus, bacteria and all. But now the major cause of distress is NCDs, non-communicable diseases. So what are these non-communicable diseases? Non-communicable diseases are which don't spread through human interaction, and they are of long duration in nature. Suppose if you have an infectious disease, if you have a fever, if you have malaria or whatever, you will be cured within 15 days, 1 month time. But if you have diabetes, if you have hypertension, if you have insomnia, if you are suffering from stress or any stress related disease, suppose IBS, so this can be your lifelong companion. So these are called non-communicable diseases, which affect you not at your old age only, but the most productive years of your life, when you are young, when you are working, and the medical expenses also go up to a great extent. So for every corporate or for every individual, it is very important that we take care of these non-communicable diseases. So what is the role of yoga in controlling or curing these non-communicable diseases? See, what has been found that these non-communicable diseases are not from a single origin. Like if you have a viral disease or if you have a bacterial infection, if that bacteria is killed through some antibiotics, then your disease is cured. But non-communicable diseases like hypertension, insomnia, or whatever, migraine, diabetes, they don't originate from any single source. Therefore, they are much more difficult to treat. Therein comes the role of yoga as a multifaceted approach in treatment of these diseases. So I would mention few of these diseases which most of you are aware of. Someone or the other in the family has high blood pressure. How many of you? Someone in the family or you, your close one, has high blood pressure? Yes. Diabetes? Only two? India is the diabetes capital. You can be very responsive. And insomnia, ghum na asha kar kar ache. Insomnia is like sleep problem. Or someone, even if you don't have the disease, someone in your family, friends suffering from that. So many such health issues are there which are called the non-communicable diseases. How many of you are aware of irritable bowel syndrome, IBS? IBS. So Eastern India, many people are having this. So IBS is irritable bowel syndrome. So these are all non-communicable diseases. So the approach to control and cure and address these diseases is one is modern medicine. So modern medicine, though it is very efficacious in controlling infectious diseases, but in controlling non-communicable diseases, it can control but it cannot cure. So we need the add-ons of yoga and lifestyle in this, if you want to be completely cured of these non-communicable diseases. So you all have some idea of yoga, I have said at the beginning. So yoga, let me tell you, is nothing new to us. It originates in the Vedas. So we have 4 Vedas from which 6 schools of thought develop, and one of them is yoga. So it is roughly more than 5,000 years old. So it is a science of realizing the human potential to its maximum. So when you do yoga, it is not only a physical approach, but it is also concerned with your emotional, your mental well-being. Therefore, these diseases which we are referring to today as lifestyle disease, they do not originate only for physical reasons, but because of a major problem which we all face, that is stress. So how many of you have faced stress in your life sometime or the other? All of us. All of us. So all of us, yes? Yes. Sometime or the other we have all faced stress, anxiety, depression to some extent. So to some extent experiencing stress and anxiety is not a disease. We all experience that. But if you are experiencing it every day, if you are experiencing it on a regular basis, be sure that this will give rise to some disease or the other in the long run. Now I will take some of your time to explain how this mechanism happens. There is a lot of research nowadays. There is a lot of research. So we will just mention little bit so that you get interested how this happens. See, we have a nervous system within us which is called the sympathetic nervous system, which sympathizes with the body when the body is under stress. So this is an ancient mechanism given to us because it defends your body against some external stress. So in ancient times when we were roaming and there were tigers, snakes and things around, so suppose you meet some snake or tiger, so you have to run away very fast to save your life. So this mechanism comes into action at that point of time when your body is threatened, when your existence is threatened. So what happens in the body at that time is a profound biochemical change. Your pupil dilates, you see more. Your liver will release stored glucose so that your muscles have a constant flow of energy so that you can run away from the threat. Your heart will beat faster. So a lot of changes keep happening within the body, and all this will happen when the stress hormone will rise because your body is getting a threat of its existence. So this is called sympathetic arousal of the system. But with progress in science and technology, as I mentioned at the beginning, we have controlled the external environment. So now you go out of your home, you don't meet a snake. এখন যদি বাড়ির বাইরে যান শহরে আর কোথায় সাপ দেখতে পাবেন, কোথায় আর বাঘ আছে? But when you come to your office, you meet your colleagues. Some of them give rise to those previous ancient memories in your mind, stored in your brain, of meeting that tiger, meeting that snake. Isn't it so? Isn't it so? Isn't it so? Sometimes or the other, when you meet your friends, family members, when you meet your mother-in-law, when the mother-in-law meets the daughter-in-law, when the husband meets the wife, sometimes the same mechanism keeps working. That I am meeting that threat to my existence. So when this mechanism works, at that time, your body is experiencing an existential crisis. This is called the sympathetic takeover of your system. So now animals also have this system. Animals also have this system. They also have a defense mechanism. So if you try to hurt a dog, if you try to hurt a bird, they will run away. But we humans are endowed with something which is called buddhi. So we have a lot of intelligence. So we put it to good use. So what will it do? You also have some good quality memory. With this, we create perseverative cognition. What is that? So what is this? So you will recall in your mind the same situation, the same event which has happened and which made you feel threatened at that point of time. So that event, the stressful event might be over. So you meet some stressful event at any part of the day. That event might be over. But when you are sitting back at your leisure, you will recall that event and experience the same threatful existential crisis again. Your body will react in the same changes, in the biochemical changes will keep happening. So this one stressful event that you have experienced is not the problem. But when we keep thinking about it time and again, that becomes the problem. What is happening, your body is actually not facing the threat, but you are recalling that incident, but your body is giving rise to the same biochemical changes in the which it had given rise to during the stressful event. So your BP is going up, your heart rate is going up, your blood glucose levels are going up, and you are sitting back, you are thinking of that event. So this is something unique to human beings, perceivable cognition, which is not there in animals. So this is one of the major reasons of stress. We create a loop around ourselves. This loop which makes us feel that we are under some threat or some anxiety always, giving rise to lifestyle disease over a period of time. When for prolonged time you are under this stress, you are always under the threat of developing cardiovascular diseases like diabetes, diseases like insomnia, and many, many more. IBS is one of the commonest of problem of stress, a failure of the gut-brain communication axis. So what we do to get rid of this loop formation of the mind? যখন আপনি কোনো কারো বুঝতে অসুবিধা হচ্ছে in English. So if you need any clarification, if you need any question, if you have any questions, we will answer them at the end. So this loop formation of the mind has to be broken at any cost. So what we do? So whenever you face any stressful situation, you have to disengage your mind. And this entire process of disengaging the mind and re-engaging it to something else is yoga. So yoga, most of you will understand as some physical exercise. But let me tell you, it is not a mere physical exercise. It is a profound science. It is a profound science of realizing the complete human potentials that we have within us. So when we can address stress with yoga, and we are saying that stress is a modern phenomenon, but yoga is more than 5,000 years old. So it becomes evident to all of us that stress was then also. 5,000 years back, stress, anxiety was there. So these ancient sciences in India, they have remedies for stress and anxiety, be it Ayurveda or yoga. So modern medicine has got remedy for stress of late, but yoga and Ayurveda has remedy for stress more than 5,000 years. So time-tested remedies. So when you are doing some asanas, let us start with the asanas.